Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. The Western Washington Amateur Television Society is a group of amateur radio enthusiasts that take to the airways with fast scan television. We have a repeater located up on Cougar Mountain. We transmit on 70 centimeters. It's a crossband repeater and spits out images at 1.2 gigahertz. I'd like to take this time to thank the SeaTac Repeater Association for letting us use WW7ATS repeater 147.08 for our communications for our nets held on Wednesdays and Saturdays between 8 and 9 o'clock. So I'll take a break in case anybody wants to sign into the net. Now do so. And hearing nothing with that. To find out more about the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, Google WW7ATS. That's Google WW7ATS. That will take you to our homepage. There you will find information about our club, the frequencies we operate on, and also a link to get to YouTube where we stream our nets. That link is on our homepage. Pressing on that will take you to a live picture of what's going on. This is Dave, KD7ZYM. So far, checked into the net this evening by video link already is Ron, KD7QKU, Lee, N7KC, Bob, K9PQ, Richard, K7ITX, Wade, W7ITL, Jim, N7QO, and James, WU7N, and myself, Dave, KD7ZYM. If there's anybody else who would like to check into the net this evening. Hearing none, let's start at the top of the list with Ron, KD7QKU in Tacoma.
This is Ron. If someone would switch me in, I'll transmit some video. James, this is Ron, KD7QKU, coming to you from Tacoma. So let's see, I was just scurrying around trying to get set up here. My picture is as usual. I turned it on this afternoon and it had a little bit of color coming back. And that sort of seems to be the situation. A little color at daytime, no color at night. So let's see, I'm looking at the little laptop computer. I had Wade taken over to Wade and he wiped the hard drive clean and then reinstalled Windows, and it's working like a little champ. So that's good. I can leave it in here now. That'll be real handy. So Doug and Phyllis, Joanne's sister and brother-in-law, were just here. We watched the Seahawks game, and we got a text message saying that Doug had lost his phone. Well, sure enough, I suggested that he call it and see if we could hear it, because we looked all over and couldn't find it, and it was down in the crack of the Davino where he was sitting next to the cushion, next to the arm. So we found the phone, so that's good. It didn't fall out of the car someplace. And hey, Richard, while they were here, we went over, they wanted to go look at Alicio. So we drove over there to see all the new construction. That is a retirement home where Richard's mother is. And it used to be called something Lutheran, and but it's not. Boy, is that a big development, much larger than we expected. All of us were shocked. Okay, that's enough for me. Back to net, KD7QKU.
7QKU, thanks for that. Let's go on to Port Angeles to Lee, N7KC.
Okay, there we go. My interesting N7KC in Port Angeles. Good evening, everybody. My phone, Echolink, is now working sort of in landscape orientation, and it's never been that way before, so there must be an update to that app somehow. So it's a different presentation on my phone. Very interesting. Well, I see Richard's got a weather station there. Jesus. My goodness, what has happened to my world? Well, anyway, I see Richard's got a weather station, so I'm just going, oops. Richard, can you enable the screen sharing? Yeah, there we go. All right. Here's our barometer situation here. It's, as you can see, we're down about, we're under 29.3 now. And it's really tapered off, but it's been falling all day. So I don't know how low it's going to go tonight. I didn't look at windy, so forth. So I thought I'd just show that. I'll get back here. Well, I don't really have much to say. I've been setting tile today. I got an inexpensive wet saw from Harbor Freight. The saw was $60. The diamond blade that went with it was another $18. I have some comments about it. I mean, it cuts ceramic tile like butter, no question about it. But you better have some kind of a range suit on, because you cannot see that blade or where it's cutting if you have the guard down. So if you remove the guard so you can actually see the cut and what's going on, boy, it's a mighty fountain of water comes flying at you and so forth. So I got completely soaked yesterday when I cut the pieces. What I did today was I set the tile on a kitchen window above the kitchen sink. And I'll tell you that they should never have a wood sill under those conditions. This is not smart. So I decided that we would do it in tile. Went down to Serenity, not Serenity, but the Habitat for Humanity here. Wonderful place I just ran out of time. Wonderful place to buy tile that's not been used. People take it in. We found everything we needed there for pennies compared to what you can go anyplace else. Brand new stuff. Anyway, we did good. That's it for me. This is Lee in Port Angeles. Back to that. Go ahead, Dave.
Thanks for that. Let's go over to Bob, T9PQ.
Yeah, I watched some of the Seahawks game today. I won't say I watched a lot of it. I actually watched most of the first half because they actually were in the game for most of the first half, and actually leading at halftime by 1 point. And then things went south, and it was pretty expected. The 49ers are just a much better team from top to bottom in every respect, and it finally played out that way. But let's see. Well, so in my world, in the tabletop role-playing game world, there's a big a big controversy around Dungeons and Dragons, the company behind that, which is now owned by Hasbro. You all know the toy company Hasbro. They've decided they want to more fully monetize Dungeons and Dragons, and they are as is typical of a parent corporation. They're saying we need to squeeze all the money we can out of this. We need to tighten up the restrictions on other authors using our system. So it's making me look into using something other than Dungeons and Dragons. There are others out there, but I can't imagine you guys are all that interested, but that's what I've been spending my time on for some of my
again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM, and I'll open the mic in case anybody else wants to check into the net at this time. Again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net, taking check-ins. Hearing none, let's go to Richard, K7ITX in Kent. We'll try again, K7ITX, Richard in Kent.
Richard. I was on the wrong microphone. Thank you, and sorry about that, and I'm not sure, maybe it's my YouTube that froze. Anyway, I'm going to play around with the screen, and I'll have a report on the next round. K7ITX.
ITX, thanks for that. Let's go to Tacoma to Wade, W7ITL.
7ITL here in Tacoma. Let me just turn my TV off because it's a little noisy. And when I transmit with it on, it always gets a little noisy. Today's been pretty eventful. Spent a bunch of time in the morning working on my car. I have a issue with my obstacle, I forget what they call it, but it basically detects when people are in your blind spot. We had a minor collision a couple months back, and I think it knocked it out. So we got a new sensor yesterday, and got it all programmed up with its VIN number and all that, and got to put it back in there. The mounting bracket it fell off during the collision, so I didn't quite understand how the technology worked. I thought maybe there was a separate sensor for the actual radar, but apparently it looks like maybe the radar is in the module itself, so having it in the bracket is required, because what it's doing now is that when cars are passing, it's always going off, even if they're not in my blind spot. So I got to order a new bracket today and a new cable harness for it, so I'm going to be installing that hopefully next weekend, which sounds like I'm going to have to take the whole bumper off and splice in a new harness. I want to break for a second. The bracket back together, and hopefully I'll have a working blind spot monitor, because it's been for like the last couple of months. It's been kind of annoying having it going on and off, saying that your monitor's on, it'll set off, and the cable be broken, and having it spliced. Putting a new one in there hopefully will help that. And then this evening, I went out to Torquay's, which is a retro arcade with my son. We played pinball and played some other retro games. Just got back from that. Now we're just kind of winding down and doing a couple of things. But I do have one other thing. I didn't know if there was anybody that joined the net tonight that's new, but I met up with some folks at the W7DK club this morning, and I was telling them about our club, and it sounded like they were interested in New Ham. So I got this call sign. Let me see if I can get it. It's KK7JTZ. His name's Greg. Hopefully he's listening tonight, and he wants to talk. If you are, just say your name and your call, and I'd love to hear from you. All right. Well, this is W7ITL. This is my final, and I'll be back maybe in 2 rounds.
depending on how long it takes for me to check into my Simplex net. So with that said, I'll talk to you guys on the next round maybe, or the next one after that.
W7ATS, thanks for that. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Covington.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Good evening, everyone. Well, let's see, Ron. I missed where that retirement home is located. Is it somewhere near Tacoma? Just curious. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, where I'm going to move, but I need to downsize eventually and need to do some planning for the future. Oh, wait, before you leave, kudos for giving the assist to Ron. Lee, cool barometric graph. FYI, on the 1.2 gigahertz, I cannot see that graph at all. I can't see the line, but it looks really cool on my computer machine. Bob, good picture on 1.2. Let's see. Yeah, Dick, we didn't hear you that first time. Not at all from the get-go. Don't know why. And let's see, if anyone has any ideas on how to make the Zoom problem go away, please say something. This thing does not, I don't know how to prompt Zoom to do updates, but it does prompt me, and my wife said the last time she used the computer, it did an update. So I did make sure the computer was restarted after that, so it should have taken effect, but don't have a good explanation on that. If anyone can help me out on that, I'd appreciate it. Looks like maybe the problem sort of comes and goes. Maybe with time it just stays gone. I don't know. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
7QO, let's go to James in Bellevue, WU7N.
Likewise, because I don't think I have that flickering issue. I think I've got the latest version of Zoom, but I have noticed now flickering that is now stable on Jim and then also on Lon. Stand by one. Ron, amazing that you found the phone. Usually, when one's phones are lost, they instantly, the battery dies, or you remember you had it left on silent, so you can't ring it to track it down. The Find My Phone function on iPhone is really amazing. And I've been meaning to get an iPhone AirTag just to play with it. I don't really know what I would do with it, but the idea of putting something on your baggage and being able to follow your baggage as it flows through the whole cellular system is neat. Okay, now Ron, you got flickering back again. Okay, here's my Harbor Freight rule for the cheap power tools. It's like gambling. You buy it hoping that the motor will last through one entire project. After that, you're on completely house money at that. It's just like going to the casino. So let me know how things go with your tile saw. I have 2 bathrooms to do, and I would like to do tile rather than I know what you call it, the monolithic sheets. A friend of mine recommended that, but I don't like that look. I prefer to do tiles. So I'll be staying in tune with you on that. I'm shocked that Hasbro has purchased a brand and trying to milk the most amount of money out of it. And a trivia question, where does this line come from? I am shocked to find there is gambling going on in this establishment. Okay, that's the line. I am shocked to find out there is gambling going on in this establishment. Okay, that's the trivia question for tonight. But modern cars, oh my goodness, I want more details. He said he tried to replace the sensor and had to replace the entire module on the radar sensor, so when he comes back I'll have to ask him about that. So that's it for me, James, WU7N in Northeast Bellevue.
anxiety net on the 08 machine. Well, for me, today has been domestic chore day around the house. Got that done. And then I was able to watch some of the Seahawks game. Well, I watched most of it, except the last 30 seconds of the Seahawks game. At that point, I figured they're not going to make any more points, and it's not going to happen. So then I went back to domestic chores. But I will say that I did try something new in Mexican food. I had an enchilada with, I guess they call it mole sauce, which is a combination of chocolates and peppers. And I was surprised. I'd always read that on the menu, and I said, chocolate and pepper? There's no way that combination can work. So my daughter, who was with me for lunch, says, oh, you got to try it, Dad. So I tried it, and surprisingly, it wasn't bad. The chocolate complements the peppers, or the peppers complements the chocolate, one of the two. So I would advise that if anybody wanted to try mole sauce, it's worthwhile. A little bit on the spicy side, but on a scale of 1 to 5, I would say the spices was about a 2, so it was pretty low. But I guess it depends on the restaurant that you're having the mole sauce at your service. So that's pretty much it. This is Dave, KD7CYM. So let's go back up to the top to Ron, KD7QKU.
You'll switch me in. There's my video, that I used to play with my color bars and stuff on it. I don't know if anybody can see them in my call sign, but they're there in all their glory on my monitor. So I'll switch back to my picture, I guess. So I was wondering, when Wade was on, was that his 1.2 picture? I'm thinking it was. It's considerably better than mine, of course. And Jim, that Alicio used to be the Lutheran home, and it's between me and Highway 16, so I go out to Pearl Street, which is about half a block, and then head south towards Highway 16, and it's on the right-hand side. There's a golf course back there, too, someplace, but it's real close. That's kind of why I wanted to live here. So when we moved to the nursing home, it wouldn't be far to go. And we'd have be familiar with the neighborhood and have the doctors and everything. So that was my plan, and I hope it works out. You never know when you're going to have to move there, but they're putting in some big new buildings, and a couple of them are 3 stories high. When we were driving around looking at them, some of them have a nice little covered decks on the corners, apartments on the corner, and they were facing kind of northeast. And I was saying, gee, many Christmas, if I lived in one of those upper ones, my antenna would be 100 feet off the ground, and I'd have a really good view, maybe of the repeater. So I thought that might be a good deal. I could maybe set my antennas up on tripods on the patio. So who knows what'll happen in the future? Maybe when we get there, I won't even know my name, let alone anything about ATV. So yeah, Richard. So that we drove all around in that construction site, and Phyllis drove us around kind of behind, I would say. When we drove into the construction, we spared to the right, went around the chain link fence, and came, and she said that we're at the entrance, the old entrance, and she thought maybe that's where they have the, Alzheimer's care, but we weren't sure, so maybe your mom is actually in that section, I don't know. So, let's see, what else is going on? Not much. I was over to Waze the other night, and so it's the warning, that comes on on your mirror, you know, our car has a, and I think Waze it too, it has a little, like, you know, orange arrow out there, and it flashes and tells you, you can see it in the screen that there's a car on your right-hand side. I think it was the one on his right-hand side that he used to have trouble with. So, let's see. Man, we've had some beautiful days. I haven't gone out. My ankle, thankfully, is getting better. I'm, I would say, more or less pain-free now if I don't hurt it again. It's been like that for a week or so. I'm just about ready to start walking around the block. As you guys may or may not know, Joanne had the shingles. I can't remember if I told you or not, but she came down with the shingles last Sunday. That was the first time that I saw it. She told me, and we taken a picture, and she could see the little blisters and stuff on it. And we looked up shingles on the internet, and the pictures were exactly the same. So then she went to the doctor on Monday, and they confirmed it. All right, enough of that. I guess back to net. KD7QKU.
7QKU, thanks. Let's go to Lee, N7KC in Brangelis.
Okay, there we go. N7KC, PA. Well, very good. Well, Ron, my condolences to Joanne. I'd had all the single shots and all that stuff, and periodically they're not near as bad, I don't think, as they would be if I didn't have all that protection, but anyway, boy, it's no fun. Richard, you mentioned it when we couldn't hear what you were saying about what appears to be maybe a Japanese, I can't quite read what's on the front, I don't think it's David. Anyway, a weather station. And the third thing I want to mention was that flickering on Zoom. You know, my Zoom on my machines has been unconditionally stable. And then 2 revisions ago, I think it was, I updated, immediately had it. I had it on this net, I had it on the local club net here, and so forth, and I kept waiting for another revision to come by, and finally it did. So I updated, and sure enough, it went away. So it seemed like it was related to the updated version that I had. And I can tell you how to do it. It's really, really easy. The very first screen that comes up on the upper right-hand side is a little dot, a little circle with your name or initial or something. Just click on it. You don't do it the first thing when it comes up. Just click on that thing, and then it'll give you a list of stuff to do, and one of them is check for updates. And you do that, and it will install it automatically. You don't have to do anything. All you do is you click that thing, and if there's one there, then it'll download it and install it. You don't have to tell the thing. Anyway, the latest one, I haven't had Flickr once since I put it in. And so I can only conclude that it was probably that, you know. And the other thing that I'm interested in is if you technical gurus know how to start a console session in the command shell in Windows. For the life of me, I can go ahead and set myself as administrator, but when I try to run the CFS, check file or CSS, check system files, it says I have to be in a console session to do it. Now, that's on my Windows 7 and Windows 10 computer. Windows 11, I don't have any issue. And I have been all over Google trying to find out how to do that, and I've not been successful yet doing it, so I'd be curious. So this next time in KC, Leah Fort Angeles, and I'm going to send her back to you, Dave. Go ahead.
KC, and it's time for ID again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7ZYM. Is there anybody else who would like to check into the net this evening? I'll pause momentarily. go to Bob, K9PQ in Bothell.
Hey, hello guys. I have a few notes. The stock quote, I sort of cheated and I sort of didn't, because I knew there was a quote with shocked from Casablanca, but I didn't think it was about gambling. I thought it was at the end of the movie where he discovers the person's gunned down, and before he says the great line, round up the usual suspects, I thought he said something about being shocked at that point too. So that's the quote I was looking for, and then I found the other one in the process. So there you go. Sort of cheating, sort of not. Ron, I'm glad to hear your ankle is better. Yeah, my sympathy to Joanne. I've had a very minor case of the shingles years ago, but not recently. It's nice to see you on RF, Ron. It's nice to see somebody on RF, so thanks for doing that. I appreciate it. As for the warning thing on the cars, my car's too old for all that stuff. In fact, it is now 20 years old. I have a 03, so it is 20 years old. And, you know, it has some nice stuff, but it's missing some things like a backup camera would be very nice, and it's pretty standard these days, I think, or at least is a pretty standard option. And one other thing, besides the tabletop role-playing games, I have been looking at some YouTube videos about cooking, and one sort of got my attention and got me to actually buy some stuff. There's a YouTube channel called Butcher Wizard. Now, I didn't buy anything that he actually has some links that he gets money for specific knives, but I recommend his channel because they're very short, very to the point. If you're interested in butchering your own meat, he got me interested, and I never had thought of doing that before. But what I did end up buying, which will be delivered here soon, is a carbon steel frying pan. And what it is it's supposed to be all the benefits of a cast iron pan, but better. But it gives you that same ability to go with extremely high heat, and you do the same sort of what do you call it when you put the oil on, and seasoning. You do the same sort of seasoning that you would with a cast iron pan, but it's lighter weight. It's smoother. It's a better quality steel, and it's just I'll let you know when I get it. When I try it out, I'll let you know how I like it. But the idea is to use my sous vide to cook the steak, and then use this to give it the nice sear on the outside. So that's another thing I've been up to lately, and I guess that's about it for this round. Back to that, K9PQ.
9PQ, thanks for that, Bob. Let's go on to Richard, K7ITX.
Almost did the same thing. Almost had I apologize to the other frequency, the PSRG frequency, for blabbering away thinking I'm on this station. And then so what do? I almost do the same exact thing, but you caught me catching myself, and I didn't do it, did I? Yes. So anyway, so I answered your question, Cummington Jim, so that was all about on the first round. And, okay, and then here's the weather station, and L-O-G-I-A, Logia? So I don't know. It's a 7-in-1 wireless weather station that my son got me for Christmas. And so now you can, and everyone was wondering, there's been this debate, Lee, that you probably weren't part of where I should put it. And so this is where it sits for my wife thinks it should RF? James would think it would, so we don't know. I mean, there's our answer right there. Whatever he thinks is usually pretty golden in my book. So anyway, it's just a lot of fun. And pretty soon I'll show you the display. But it actually does 7-in-1 things. And I don't know if I'll show you the top down. You can actually see the little UV in the sensor. And but it's fun. What can I say? K7ITX, back to net control.
ATX, thanks for that. Well, I see Wade's on the screen, so let's go to W7ITL.
Try to switch in if I can. I might have somebody try to switch me in. My radio is really low on power. Maybe James, you could switch me in. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, Ron, you look really good tonight on the RF. You're black and white, but I can definitely make you out pretty good. So keep up with using RF if you can. It's nice to have a few folks on RF. It'd be nice to, go to a digital RF mode, but I think analog is good for now. Let's see, I did want to make a correction on the sensor that went out. I think Bob had mentioned it was a backup camera, but it's actually it's a radar sensor that it detects when there's somebody in your blind spot. There's two of them in my car on the back. There's one on each side of the bumper. One on the right side of the car and one on the left side. And the assumption was that there's a separate sensor that's in the actual bumper itself, but I come to find that that's an optical sensor that I was thinking was the radar sensor that I kept thinking, hey, why is this not working right? It keeps flashing on and off when there's nobody in my blind spot. And I think the reason why it's doing that is because right now I just have it kind of zip tied to the inside of my bumper, and it's not pointed in any particular direction. It's just mounted behind the bumper. So next weekend I'm going to try to remove the bumper and mount it with a proper bracket. So that's my project next weekend if the weather is as good as it was this weekend. So with that said, I'll turn the net back to Dave. W7ITL back to net.
ITL, thanks for that. Let's go on to the next, Jim, M7QO.
M7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Ron, your picture on 1.2 is not real good, but it's certainly better than mine. I have you in black and white only, and Wade, I have you in black and white only. Let's see. Yeah, shingles. I don't know, my wife got shingles pretty badly before she turned 60, as a matter of fact. She wanted to get a vaccination because her father had it pretty badly. And at the time, they did not allow you to get a shingles vaccine unless you were 60. They have since changed that, so I lucked out, my wife did not. Them's the breaks. Let's see. Oh, I'll also comment about the 1.2. My signals, they're not so much right now, but earlier during the net, my signals were fading a little bit, probably windy up on the mountain, I would guess. Let's see. Lee, I don't have a Zoom account, but I'll see what I can do there. Bob, backup camera. I looked around the shack here. Problem is I straightened up the shack a little bit, so now I can't find anything. I have a backup camera sitting around here. You could buy it as an add-on kit. They have a little camera, which it's on a metal strip. You just use the screws which hold your license plate onto your vehicle,
use those mounting screws, license plate mounting screws, and you've got a camera back there. So that's kind of cool. You could buy an add-on kit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wish my RF picture were that good thing. Yeah, you wouldn't see it. Thanks, Wade. That looks better than the picture that I see on 1.2 anyway. Let's see. Dick, don't worry too much about using the wrong microphone as long as you don't get too long-winded. I can say it's embarrassing when, let's say you want to tell the flight attendant you'd like another cup of coffee, and instead you tell the passengers, or worse yet, you tell everyone who's listening on VHF, and then usually you get some snide remarks after that. That ends the brakes too, I guess. Oh well. Back to you, Dave, N7QO.
N7QO, get another ID, and again, this is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net on the 08 machine. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Well, let's go to James, WU7N in Bellevue.
And I'd like to say that if you now have made the jump to chocolate and peppers, now the next is green eggs and ham. That's the next one you have to try, according to Dr. Seuss. Now, I actually tonight, someone gave me a bottle of habanero pepper sauce, and it's so hot that you just put like a couple drops in a big giant thing of soup, and you can actually go like, wow, this is hot. So, I have to ask our pepper expert, Wade, if he knows what kind of peppers goes in the peppers and chocolate Mexican mole sauce, because I think it's a specific kind. I don't think it's just any kind. I tried for free. It was just pre-COVID, I remember, because I wasn't wearing a mask, and I went into a convenience store and got given free chocolate. And it turned out that was the same flavor. It was the pepper plus the chocolate. And I mean, it really had a lot of bite, which was fine with me. I thought it was good, but I thought, wow, they're giving these away for free? I mean, this is a lot to just hand out, with no warning. And anyway, this is a fun thing to do. When people are talking about shingles or shingle shots, you just do with a totally straight face, say to them, well, yeah, my roof was so expensive the last time I got it replaced. I got a shingle shot. I'm hoping that'll help next time. And just see what people's response is to that. Like, do they just let it go, or do they go like, what did you say, or what happens? It's always fun to do that. Toby Jones, close to where Ron and Wade are, has a beautiful RF window all the way up the Puget Sound corridor. My dad had a little antenna out on his deck, and it really, that water is really nice because you can go all the way north on that thing, and it really works out well. Anyway, Ron, I hope Joanne heals up fast. Shingles is so annoying. And now, I guess, up there, Bob can say he really is going out of the frying pan into the fire if he now is going to sear the steak in the carbon pan and then go and cook it on a grill. Anyway, and a Wade question on the monitor that has the large thing around it on the main screen, is that the 1.2 signal or is that the digital signal? It is 1.2. Okay. All right. Well, with that, let me turn it back to Dave with the Western Washington Amateur Television Society. This is Jim. Take it away.
With that, this is Dave, KD7CY. I'll try a little RF and see what happens. I'm firing up the RF transmitter. Get a little bit of a picture out here. See what happens. Kind of a weak signal, but I see there is something coming out. Anyway, this is RF Experience Evening tonight for us. The real live ATV is alive and well. So this is Dave, KD7CYM. Picture's not the greatest, but at least it's a little something coming out. I can almost make up my face. So I'll fire down the transmitter at this point. But that was interesting to see that I did get something out there on the air. Anyway, it's been a great net tonight, and appreciate everybody being here. We have a full house going. So let's go back up to Ron, KD7QKU.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Dave. KD7QKU here again. Yeah, your antenna, Dave, probably needs to be bumped around a little bit. You used to put out a beautiful signal. So let's see. Oh, Bob was talking. I didn't have a pad in here tonight to write down anything. I just have to try to remember it. That's not good. Bob was talking about frying pans. So we used to use those old frying pans. I don't know what they had in them, some kind of a coating. It always seemed like it started coming off. We probably ate that coating for 20 years. So I saw these new pans advertised on TV. They were these ceramic pans. And so the first one was a copper ceramic pan. And then I ordered that, and before it arrived, I ordered the blue ceramic pans. They look like a metal flake in a car. They're really pretty. And so you bought one, you got one free. So I got a normal 12-inch or whatever it is, and a smaller, maybe 8-inch came with it. So my wife really liked those. She liked the sizes of them, and so she started using those, and she's never used a copper pan. I wanted to do a comparison to see which one was the toughest. But those ceramic pans are really good. Really, really good, I'm telling you. We've used it, well, for, I don't know, 3 years now or something. And the little one is in great shape. The big one shows a little bit of wear, but not much. The guy takes an electric mixer and he mixes them and everything else. And so if you haven't tried those ceramic pans, maybe you need to give it a try. And let's see, what else? Did I talk about mole? I can't remember. So I've had, mole at the Mexican restaurants quite a few times. It's good. I was thinking I had it on steak, but could be wrong. Can't remember what I had it on, what I usually get it with. But anyway, whatever, it was good. But I think I like Mexican food real well. But Thai food, Thai food is really good. We haven't found a good Thai restaurant over here. I'm sure there are some. I see just a little flicker of color coming through on my picture every now and then on my cheeks. I don't know what everybody else sees. So, I did turn my other computer on. Wade has put it on. I can see it a little bit on his picture too. Just a tad of color on my forehead and cheeks. I put my other computer on, and I see that Richard turned it on, or somebody turned it on, and it's showing the picture. Am I running out of time? Maybe I better turn it back. KD7QKU.
7QKU, and it's ID time again. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society Net. I'm Dave, KD7CYM. Let's go to Lee in the 7KC in Port Angeles.
Okay, but I think you should go get Bert. Find out what the heck he's doing. That's a pretty good picture. Curious to where he is. But I guess he's disappeared. Don't see him now. Okay, I've been up until when Ron came on. I've actually been listening to you guys on 14708. And I'd love to try it, but I'm going to get feedback if I do, because I'd have to shut down what I've got here. But anyway, I've been listening. I can understand you just fine. Just a little bit of noise. But anyway, so it was interesting to see birds. Nothing else here in 7KC in Port Angeles. Thank you, Dave.
See, thanks. Let's go to Bob, K9PQ.
like habanero pepper, and I have just weird digestive problem. I can't eat bell peppers. They are just death to me. But habanero pepper, as long as it's a little bit, I mean, I agree, it's very hot, but you get the pepper sauce, and I just use a few drops, and it can really liven up a dish. And also, I think I did make myself clear, so that I don't use a grill at all in my cooking. I use sous vide, which is the water bath thing that gets a nice even interior, and then I use I will use this pan to do a sear on the outside, like you could do it on a grill as well, but you just quickly sear the outside, and you're not trying to cook the inside anymore, it's already cooked. Dave, nice to see you on RF, very nice to see. And yeah, Teflon versus ceramic, so I've been doing a little more research on that as well, because I went ceramic. I bought a ceramic pan, a fairly expensive one, and what I have learned is that ceramic, there's nothing about the ceramic, it's not technically really ceramic, and there's nothing about the ceramic that makes it non-stick. It's a surface that it releases some kind of silicone, I think, or silicon compound, which gives it the non-stick properties, but it will go away over time. After using it, if you use it a lot, within, they were saying like 6 months, I assume that's if you use it, every day for some time, so that's why yours could last a long time, and mine still is doing okay, but it's not doing as well as when it was new. Teflon, since 2013, they stopped putting in this other compound that they used to put in that would possibly cause health problems. So since 2013, Teflon is completely safe, and it lasts a lot longer than ceramic. As far as the non-stick capability, the ceramic is going to hold up, it's not going to wear away, but the non-stick. And Lee, yeah, I heard a very, very faint feedback on your signal, so I guess you were probably listening to it at the time, but it was just very faint, it wasn't a big problem. Let me break. I think there was something else. Oh yeah, I love the thing about the passengers hearing the coffee order and even over the VHF radio. I think I'm going to start monitoring the aircraft frequencies on my scanner and see if I hear any of that. I haven't ever heard it, but it sounds fun. Okay, back to that. K9PQ.
PQ, thanks for that. Let's go to Richard and Kent. K7ITX.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. You're so kindly for switching me in. So yeah, here's the weather station in all its glory. See, 53.2 degrees Fahrenheit outside and 71.1 Fahrenheit inside. As you can see, I don't know if you can see. I'm assuming you can, but because I'm looking at the full screen, and a lot of people aren't. So maybe you can't. But right here, listen. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, this is kind of wild. And if you're a weatherman, you would know how to do this. Anyway, I'm trying to show you the gusts. I like I said, on gusts are zero. There were gusts earlier today around our deck at about 2 miles an hour, and evidently out of the east. Or no, that maybe I was fiddling around with it. So I don't know if that. And then let's see, UV index. Of course, it's nothing when it's dark. I got the monthly rain total right there, 2.06. Now probably the 06 is maybe when I was testing it a little bit, but for sure 2 inches so far this month, not a problem. I watched it. So, and then the barometer's behind me, and I got 2 different barometers, and they tell me 2 different things. So, but they're very good, of course, showing the graphic business that we demonstrated. What the heck? Alicia, Tacoma Lutheran. That's what it was originally called, and they changed the name to represent, the more religious side of it. Ron, for your information, where my mom is at in the memory care is the very, northeast corner of the building. There's actually a courtyard kind of in there. You have to have a secret password to get in there. It's, magnetic electric strikes. It's well secured, let me put it that way. And so we just feel blessed that she's there right now. But the new construction, oh my God. You'll have brand new stuff ready for you. I'm not kidding you. The timing is impeccable. And actually, I'm sure there's stuff for me too right around the corner. So, no, it seems like it's, I don't know, the cat's meow, the bee's knees. It really is for old people. So, and I'm one of them. So, what can I say? WW7ATS back in net control.
ITX, thanks for that. Let's move on down the list and go to Wade, W7ITL.
Alright, well, I see myself on Zoom. I don't know if somebody can switch me to RF. I'm going to turn off my TV so that I don't hear the hum. I need to turn my transmitter on. I should be coming in now. But I don't really have anything to really say other than, it's nice seeing everybody on the air today on RF. Really nice seeing, and it looks like we got a glimpse of Bert's traveling, so nice to see him. Alright, well, that's it for this round, and I don't think I have any more thing to say, and I think we only got 2 minutes left of the net, so I'm going to turn it back to Dave, W7ITL.
ITL. Let's go to Jim, N7QO in Bellevue.
N7QO, thank you, Dave. Well, Wade, you get a much better RF picture than I was expecting. That's pretty darn good. That's probably about the best that I ever got from my house. And I have to go back a number of years to get a picture that good. Nothing beats an unobstructed line of sight. It helps if you're close to the machine, but it helps even more if there's no trees in the way. I'm afraid that's probably my big problem now. I've got a bunch of trees around here. The repeater could be better though. Let's see. Bob, safe non-stick surfaces. A word of caution. You may be able to find something that comes from China or something which you could otherwise get at the dollar store, which I don't think I would trust. Just food for thought. Thanks for mentioning again that Dick, I assume you meant your mom's had Alicio as well. And Jim, thanks for mentioning Toby Jones. I do have 2 different friends who are down in retirement homes in the Tacoma area. I don't remember the name of either of those, but I know neither of them are at Toby Jones. But I had a different friend who was there, but they died. So anyway, they like Toby Jones. Let's see here. I think that was all that I had to mention. Back to you, Dave, and 7QO.
On the subject of retirement, we're going to retire the net for the evening. This is the Western Washington Amateur Television Society net. We'd like to thank again the SeaTac Repeater Association for utilizing their 147.08 So on behalf of the Western Washington Amateur Television Society, this is Dave, KD7CYM, terminating the net at 9:01. Good evening all.